Right, we here today with Analyst Shepherd at Manawa Nova's farewell. We giving our Nova a send off, and we here with one of the. I wanna say, I'm gonna pick you up. I'm not gonna say too much because I grew up with this man, so I might be a little biased. But this here is Analyst. Some might know him as Shepherd, some might know him as Mad Scientist, some that different names. But let him speak some piece of. Tell us more about yourself. Where you get his name Analyst from?
Oh yeah, well, to the FCC over there, you know, and the current and new method and everything like that. My name is my real name is Surname is Shepherd. One of my alias, made alias, game name is Analyst, and I got that some donkey years back, boy, because this is back in the arcade days, long before PS1, you know, and back in Concert Mall and Yetsoy Mall and you know and High Street in San Fernando. Well, Concert was in Nail stop for me, and Green Corner, of course, that's not on Richmond, with Park Street or Port of Spain. And when I used to play with my boys then back in Street Fighter, 2 days. My boy, Pretty Boy Sean, Kim, Tony, Joe, Kit. Kit was the man at the time now, the main man, you know. Me and P.R. Bretchen Vaughan did start an arcade and sing, and I was I used to go a lot by Green Corner, and through playing with them and watching them on most of the times, I used to watch them and like while I'm playing I would like get them tips. So they were a lot better than me, and I trained from them, right? But I said I was like, you know, okay, let's do this a little better, and I observed that he was doing this XYZ case, whatnot, and from there we kept to give me a chance to play. And when I played, we realized how the adaptation and breaking on the person and analyzing. And from there, I'll even start beating them really quick. If not after the first round, the next game I'll start immediately beating them. And then I get them tips. So from there, Pretty Boy Sean was like, boy, we don't like I read Analyst now, well. And he just literally gave me that name. And from there, Kim and only for us took that name and ran at it. And I haven't got a name ever since, and let's stick with it. Because Pretty Boy Sean, who lives outside now, started that name, Analyst, and from there, that's how I got that name.
Well, when I hear you Analyst too, that's the same way I would think. That's how I grew up seeing him, you know, teaching me new stuff. Always, this man always had a new tech. He always had some kind of macho specific stuff. Like even if I didn't know his name was Analyst, I would have probably call him Analyst too. Because the man is plenty time, me real macho specific stuff. Can always talk to him and sit down and say, boy, I need to learn something about. Well, Lady Shoto, man.
Yeah, DP.
Anything with Shoto's ask him, you know, from head to toe, the boot, anything.
Yeah, back boy, Big Max Speaker, that's DPs.
So I have an extra question here. What make you gravitate so much to Shotos? Like, it have a wide variety of characters. Why you pick Shotos?
Well, some will say like, you know, that is a protagonist complex with that, but me, truthfully, is more like when I watch Street Fighter and other fighting games, I like to be balanced. I mean, it's not so much about having the strongest character. It's just more like I like to have a balance of everything. Good defense, a good defensive tool, a good neutral control tool, and of course damage markers as well. You know, and when I used to see like Rai, even though back then when he gravitated to Ken Plenty, he was his style man, plow triples, you know. I didn't know like how Rai was. Rai was more methodical, steady, sort of like a rock and power hitter. So no one pound for pound power hitting, and his projectile game was really, really awesome. So outside of the DPs of being the Dragon Punch, you know, the great DP, how Rai used to play and really projectile and neutral control, and how powerful and fast it was, and how people skipping and hopping over, and then like things like, you know, fall, you know, heavy sweep and whatnot. And ever so often somebody like pressure, they could always like, you know, DP them, whatever now. So from there, kind of gravitated, I realized I did try other characters, Guile and Sim and Ethan, but I realized like these characters kind of resonate more. How I want to express myself and play the game. DPs, yeah, DPs. You know your body, who are DP, you understand? I have a feeling you're going to stretch us here. Who are DP now? I dig that in. You know, that kind of, that psychic DP kind of vibes and control and trust. So yeah, you know, I realize that's character to me now.
And
style.
Being a young player, I always look up to the older ones and always gather knowledge anywhere that I feel. Use a man you here a while now, and I show like it's new, you see new faces now, so you know it's a whole new generation.
Yeah, that always go.
So for somebody that's keeping up and you're still playing after so much years, with some stuff that you doing as a player right now that you think that will help develop the community? Because I know long time all they had arcade days, and now it's a whole different scene and stuff. What happened to that? Wait.
I would say at some age, I'm gonna explain that online, but at some age, I born in an era. I also say I born within the bridge gap of the old school and into the new school. So I grew up with a lot of old school stuff, and I grew up with a young other pets who show me and while growing up with in my youth days, it was something called socializing totally different back then to now. We used to run around in the yard and play with other children and play kick and beat up and run around in the jump in the river, go up St. Anne's with Springs, go to school through that and real interaction now. And of course, you had a lot of school fights and you had to play bag, growing up in it. And how the elders was back then, when the youth and together, they would make a circle around us and tell us don't fight dirty. No kicking in the balls and anything grinds and poke in the eye. Box it out and scare it off and be good after. If you're not good after, they beat 3 hours and send you home. So you have to scare it off straight past. So, and while coming along growing up, of course, I'm growing up at teenagers, at my mid-teens is where the evolution of the society started change. It's a console, more online, so I started come out and saying, arcade was kind of dying. So I had to make that adaptation now. I saw first it. And what to me it was nothing, was like, okay, living life, I do the adaptation, arcade design out, even though I miss my boys and them, but the console coming out, and I always enjoy the challenge of meeting new people, the fighting places like Street Fighter, whatever, guilty in fighting game. I always did love that in my competitive vibes now, in my nature. And from there I was like, I seen with the console happening, a lot of players coming out, more younger player generation. And I would say honestly, they have a lot of potential, and because of online social media, information is way more easy accessible compared to long time. You had to kind of figure out this, figure out this strategy, everything. You had to read up online, understand? To read up to figure out anything online. But with that said, if I pros and cons, because with the newer generation, they have this the access to information very easy, so they're adapting it faster. Well, learning much faster, right? But at the same time, because they don't have that interaction heavily offline, while they're growing up, they grow a kind of complex where they believe that they should never lose and they can't understand or cope with losses. So not all of them, but most of them don't have this rage quitting way, and that kind of way. Arcade wasn't that. I'm not getting it to up. Yeah, that's okay. That come back again. So it had pro, but as well with no generation, if I have the bigger money, vast tournaments around the world, but much bigger than long time by far, and more exposure. So that's the pros and cons of it, So yeah.
That's some good advice there from Mr. Analyst himself. And lastly, I want to ask this real important question, like coming from a youth perspective. It have a lot of younger players, and I will be working alongside them because I myself is one of the younger players.
Yeah. Glad to see.
With some advice you'll give to players that I wanna say make it, but like approach fighting game to that extent with some discipline, like some advice. Will you tell a youth man, like if a youth man come to you and say, well, I watching you play all your life, and I wanna be like a Daigo. If a youth man come up to you and say that, what is the advice you give to?
I love very good person. I could go on for a good while with this person, but to kind of short, it look as best kind of time in footnote, but
well, you sound like you're talking to me. You know me well?
Yeah.
Like, what's your advice you give to me?
My advice is, honestly speaking, don't let, if you know this is what you love, or this is the part you want to take, specifically like the fighting game, or you love this fighting game, or you love the FVC, and you want to take it to a career level or be competitive, don't let nobody deter you or tell you what you can or cannot do in this life. When I say this statement, I don't mean to just go and be rude and disrespectful to everybody, your parents, whatever, right? Yeah, I understand that your parents, love thy parents and everything like that, honor thy father and mother. But don't let anybody could tell you what is your dream and what you can and cannot do with your dream. Even though there's your dream and there's a word, even Punk said it, Punk, he would tell people don't go and cut school, but he just reveal like he did that because he loved Street Fighter, somebody loved everything, right? and he's successful. But so with that said, again, don't let nobody deter you from your dream. Keep that conscious mind and awareness of yourself. You know, because that keeping that conscious mind and awareness of yourself keeps you stable and focused and humble. Because honestly, the true path to knowledge is true humbleness. Right? The true path to knowledge is humbleness. Always keep that humbleness about yourself. Don't ever get cocky. Don't be afraid to look back at your losses and your mistakes, because that's part of the learning process. You will get some L's. Every successor in the world through generations of lifetime, that got L's before they became successful. You understand? You had to crawl before you walk, you had to walk before you run, and so on. Right? So always keep believing in yourself. Don't let anybody deter you from your dream. If you know that's what you want to do, go for it. Especially now we had the exposure. You understand? There are lots of people to support. You know, that kind of way. Your friends and neighbors, the TOs out here, the other generation, like yourself and Mark and, you know, Trinity back inside, the William coming out and, you know, helping that exposure now. So, don't be afraid, and with the social media, don't be afraid to connect to people, in both locally and internationally, and get that information. That people will troll you and whatever people see, but believe in yourself no matter what, and never ever second guess your first initial thoughts. If you know you want to defend, say man gonna block there, do that. And you say you're in your heart, you want to do that DP. That's to show him I will do this DP. So believe in yourself at all costs, no matter what, and keep at it. I will just say that now, you know.
Yeah, what the man said. If you had to do that DP, do that.
Yeah. Let's just show them that. Hello.
Well, that was some nice words from Mr. Analyst here. This is the interviewer. Some may know me as Bugsy, Dylan Lopez.
Yeah, Bugsy that God, man. A grateful couple.
Nice speaker with you from a youth perspective, you know, it did rather.
I'd rather see you come up, me.